Hey girls and dudes, hey! So to start off this look, well, basically my face is already done, if you can't tell already, but I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, which I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I'm starting off with the shade Warm Taupe, and I'm using a fluffy brush. This is the Sigma E40 brush, but any type of fluffy brush will do, and just blend this into your crease area. I also go above my crease just because, I don't know, living on the edge, I guess. Anyways, I'm just really working on blowing this out and blending it out, making sure it is nice and seamless, just to make my life a whole lot easier as we go in with other colors. But yeah, just make sure you get it all blended out, and then you're good. Next, I'm going into the shade Red Ochre. I always want to say ochre because when I see that word, I just want to pronounce it okra, but it's ochre, I believe. I was corrected in my last video where I talked about it. But anyways, I'm just placing this on the lid. I'm using this kind of, not a brush I would normally use for my lid, but actually when I first got this palette and I tried out this look, I used this brush to put this on my lid. This brush is by The Balm. It's just kind of more of a detailer brush, but these shadows are really soft and easy to blend. And I found that this brush, even though it's more of like a detailed kind of fluffy brush, really evenly distributed the product. And I don't know, I just kind of liked more of a wash on my lid. I did go ahead and go in with a second coat just to deepen it a little bit, but still I like that little bit of a red wash instead of like a super caked on red look. So that's kind of what I did here, just putting this color all over the lid and a little bit into the crease as well. As the product leaves the brush, I will go and blend this past that crease area towards more of the brow bone. Since this is a grungier look, I do want this super blown out kind of darker look, so that's what we're doing here. Then I'm going to go into this dark brown shade called Cypress Umber, and I'm using the same brush by The Balm that we used on that red shade. I'm going to start by tapping this in the outer corner. Since there is a lot of product on this brush, I always deepen the outer corner first, and then I slowly start blending it into the crease, just so we don't start looking like a muddy mess up in here. And as the product starts leaving the brush, I will go ahead and just kind of swirl it around and make sure it's all blended out and there's really no crazy looking lines up in here. Then I'm going to go back into the shade Red Ochre with that same brush, and I'm going to put this wherever we put that dark brown shade, and the two shades are going to make this amazing burgundy color. It's just like a grunge goddess dream. And then I'm also going to blend this back into the lid a little bit and a little bit past the crease and make sure everything's just kind of blended out. Then I'm going to go back into the shade Warm Taupe on a Sigma E25 brush, and I'm going to start blowing out my lower lash line. You're really not going to notice much, but this shade basically just makes it 100 times easier to blend out any other colors we're gonna add, which is what we're doing next. We're going back into the shade Red Ochre on this small, it's more of a detailer brush. I believe this one is by Eco Tools. I'm going to place this shade on my lower lash line. I get pretty close in there before I blow it out just to make sure I have the pigment placed, and I can just build on that, and it won't give you those raccoon eyes if you kind of place it before you blend it, if that makes sense. So again, I'm just going back into that shade and kind of slowly building it up. And then I'm gonna go with my Sigma E25 and just start blending it out and kind of blowing it out. This will make sure that it stays soft and it doesn't get too harsh underneath the eye area. If that makes sense, I hope that makes sense. Then I'm gonna go back into that Cypress Umber shade with that same detailer brush. I'm gonna do the same thing, just get pretty close to that lower lash line and kind of place the shade first, and just take my time here. And I'm also going to blend it into the outer corner as well. We want it to connect. We don't want any weird gaps, or I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but weird gaps or anything like that. Then I'm going to go back in with the Sigma E25 and again blow it out and really get that blended out to make sure it's not too harsh underneath there. Next, I'm going to go into the two highlighter shades, the shades Vermeer and Primavera, and I'm going to place this on the inner corner of my eye and kind of blend it there just by tapping it, and it'll just brighten up those inner corners. And then I'm going to go back into that shade Vermeer and highlight my brow bone here, and first get my hair out of the way, then highlight my brow bone. And then I'm going to take a fluffy brush, this is a Sigma E40, and just start blending that out, make sure there's no weird lines. And then literally a black eyeliner comes out of nowhere. Apparently I didn't even get a shot of it, but this is the Sephora waterproof eyeliner. It's a retractable eyeliner, and I placed it on the outer third of my lid, and then I'm using this smudger. This is an e.l.f. brush thing, but it's basically just a sponge on a stick, and I'm just smudging where the eyeliner was. You can also use a black eyeshadow to kind of put this on the outer third, but I prefer to use eyeliner. Next, I'm going to be doing the Possessed technique, the Possessed tight lining technique. It is not a real technique. I apparently just made it up. And then I'm also going to be lining my waterline, and I'm kind of smudging it out onto my skin of my lower lash line as I'm doing this, so I can kind of blend it out, which you'll see right here. I'm going to go back into that Cypress Umber with a pencil brush, and I'm going to start blending this out. I basically just kind of dig into that eyeliner and just start smudging it and running it across my lower lash line. As you can see there, it really does start blending out and smudging it. I always use the darkest shade of the palette to do this. To continue smoking it out and help blend it out even more, I'm going to go into the next darkest shade we used, which was the red ochre shade, and I'm just going to use that on that Eco Tools brush and run it across the lower lash line. You can see there how much it really has smoked out just by adding all the different shades and continuing to blend. For my lashes, I'll be using this Makeup Forever mascara. Not too sure which one it is. I will link it below though. And these House of Lashes Siren lashes, which are my favorite lashes of life. Also applying it with my favorite nifty little tool that I got from Sephora. And for the lips, I'll be wearing Lime Crime's Velvetine in the shade Saddle, which is from their Grunge collection. Absolutely obsessed. This is a cannot live without lip color. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Say hey girl, hey down in the comments box, because you know I love talking to you. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.